Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. I want to apologize for whatever happened. We lost power the other day, and we were doing all these drop pods. We had 14, I believe, left of 32 total drop pods, and we are now down to our last 3. So, that being said, let me see here. Pull up that so in case anybody wants to jump in. And if anybody wants to talk. So we've got Restream open for both Twitter as well as YouTube. And just want to make sure this is all working. Yep. Alright, so that being said, might want to get that out of the way. Let's get to it. Last 3 Space Marine drop pods that I have had. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many years. And in the process of doing all this, I have come up with some other little tricks too. Because I mean, if you do the math, you'll notice that I have been flying through these. And that's with them actually being, cleaned up or what have you. Now, I won't say that every mold line is removed, but that will all come down to when I get to actually painting these things. I will do a once over, and do things like that, because there's no point in removing mold lines you're not going to see, right? So, and these are not obviously for some painting competition or what have you, but the main bit here that takes the time is this part right here. It's not putting it together. Henry, what is wrong with you? You just want to be in the live stream, making all this noise? It's my dog. One of my dogs. But I'm excited to be done with these, but I'm also kind of I'll be honest, I mean, I got an entire shelf now that won't have any boxes on it, and it's going to look completely different in there, and I'm kind of torn, but it'll be nice, I mean, again, everything will be played with, or be able to be played with, I mean to say. Let's see here. So, don't have a lot to talk about.
Tourist.
I knew somebody was gonna freaking jump in there and say something. Yep, I am a tourist. Right on. That's awesome. That's right on time too. If you feel like it, man, jump in. You can talk. I'm just gonna try to bust these out before the night's over. There he is.
Nothing but a damn tourist.
Nothing but a damn tourist.
You know, the worst kind of tourist is the tourist kind.
The worst kind of tourist. Yep, I'm on the last 3, man.
Okay, did you see the thing about the now, I don't know how true this is. The black samurai is also gay.
Yeah, I saw that. That's, man, I don't know.
I'm just at the point of like, let it burn. Just let it burn.
They've lost 15% in stocks, I believe it is.
Yep.
And
Stonks is down.
Yep. Everybody's literally adopting the phrase "ass creed."
Just, it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, all right, this is what if this is what matters to you, great. Good luck with that.
Well, gotta push the message somehow, I guess, and
I mean, it keeps blowing up in your face. I can't imagine.
They don't believe it.
I mean, some of the older business people, though, they've got to see these numbers dropping.
Well,
wondering what the hell.
let's go back to GW, okay? Let's go back to them and that 10-year thing I told you about. Now you've got these other, really famous YouTubers all saying, I give them 10 to 15 years. I told you that over a year ago.
Oh yeah, over a year ago.
You know, and I believe that they're trying to milk this for everything they can, and then they're bowing out. It's over because of the world economy. I mean, this is not, as much as I would love to be able to live on plastic, it's not a commodity that's needed, and it was a great cash cow to jump into, especially during COVID, and now all that's over with, and these people are going to get their money and they're going to roll, and then they're going to leave GW high and dry, both, in my opinion, both for experts or whatever that can run the company, as well as I think they're going to burn enough bridges, no one's going to want to do any production for them.
That's quite possible.
I'm not an expert in that, obviously, but that's what my gut tells me.
Well, it's kind of like what I do for a living. My theory is that what I do, they want to get out of what built the company. It's a 100-year-old company.
Yes.
And they want to take that 100 years of experience and knowledge and ability and dump it. Completely dump it. Because there's going to be a new in thing for them, which is software. Instead of products, it's going to be software. It's going to be software that interacts with products, but it's going to be first and foremost software. Because you don't have to have warehouses, and I think COVID freaked them out.
Yeah.
To be honest. They're still, because they don't want to pay as much, they don't want to pay more than they used to pay for the chips, sets, and stuff like that. So I think they're just looking at this going, well, why don't we just sell these things that maybe we can manufacture easier and just have them all interact with software?
Sure.
Because we're seeing it more and more. They're literally, their core product line is completely being ignored. And there's a big conference. One person has to stay back. I volunteered to stay back from the team because I've had enough of these, bullshit conferences. But they're gonna have this big conference, and they're like, "Hey, we want to hear from you what you think of the fact that it's taken 6 months to get a product that used to take 3 weeks."
And you're like, I've been telling you for years.
I told my boss, he goes, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "You don't want me to go."
Mischievous Coon.
Yeah, I don't want
What
you
are
to
you
go.
building today?
He knows what I'll say.
We're building drop pods there, Mischievous Coon, also known as Patrick. I am these are the last 3, and you're more than welcome to jump in the actual Discord chat. These are the last. Yeah, these are the last 3 of 32 Space Marine drop pods that I'm working on,
and they're all Grey Knight.
Yes, and I am hell bent on trying to get them done tonight. So
yeah, they just don't care, because right now stock price go burr because of shortage.
right.
And I'm like, well, there's your problem. You're literally cutting your own throat, because I brought up. I said, well, our competitors don't seem to have a problem.
Oh Lord have mercy, LOL, I'm on vacation at Grand Canyon hiking.
Make sure you stick to the trail, dude. That's all I can tell you.
And I don't care how cute it is. Leave the donkey alone.
Yeah.
If you need to see a donkey show, I can recommend one in Juarez.
Oh God, or Barcelona,
Yeah.
or Thailand.
The fact that we're both rattling off locations really says a lot about both of us.
I didn't go and see them. I just know where they are.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, and You know, I brought this up, like you said, I brought it up a year ago. Ah, you're out of your mind. You know what the hell? You're just being a grumpy old man. Okay. All right. And now it's like, we seem focused on this whole software as a solution thing. And yeah, it's almost like somebody called this. Yeah, you were right. Okay.
It's almost like software is like the bedrock of your product.
But the thing I don't understand, and all I can think of is they're going to interact with other people's hardware, because the company still is, at the core of the entire thing, is hardware. It's not just software. There has to be equipment to interact with on the hardware.
Sure.
So,
but if they're trying to go the route, not saying I know your job, obviously I don't, but if they're trying to go the route where they're trying to push the cost of the hardware onto the consumer and decrease their overhead, such as, you know, forcing if somebody wants something there, it's forcing them to buy servers, it's forcing them to, you know, to buy PCs and things like that, and then it's just all subscription based, and all they've got to do is maintain the software. Well, then they cut not only the overhead of the physical product, but they also cut the cost in employees.
Well, one of the, and you're dead on balls accurate. One of the things we're dealing with is cameras, and I don't mean like sit on your desktop. I'm talking about like license plate reading cameras that can scan 8 lanes of traffic, bumper to bumper, and get every plate.
Right.
You know, like Fed boy level shit.
Oh, that's great.
Matter of fact, one of our bigger, you know, buyers is the FBI. So, and
I'm sure the government would love, as well as the company, would love to have nothing but government contracts.
oh hell yeah, we both know about government contracts.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's like I said, it's so weird, because all I can think of is they're gonna farm off the hardware somewhere else. Let dealers handle that. Because one of the things we're doing is body cameras, body-worn cameras, and they're not just with cops anymore.
Right.
I mean, dude, there's drugstores using body-worn cameras because of problems, because of crime, and you know, issues and lawsuits. And you know, one of our taglines is, "While the camera seems expensive, how much is one lawsuit?"
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you about that. But
right.
So
for everyone wondering on the stream what he's talking about, I've got lawsuits pending for something to do with donkeys. I'm kidding. Oh God.
Donkey punch.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know, even in one of your lines of work, a body-worn camera wouldn't be the worst thing to have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all just, yeah, and because they were talking today, you know, you could almost see the owner of the company, because I work for a small, like, dealer company. You could almost see him drooling over the money that people are going to pay for training to learn how to use these. Because, as far as I can tell, they're intentionally made complex.
Yeah.
So that you can't just figure them out. You know, you can't, it's not and it's not even remotely plug and play. So it's kind of an interesting world, and I'm not really sure where a lot of us fit into it anymore.
I'm curious, when did I start this stream? To see how long it took me just to cut this off.
Ago.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, when did I actually start cutting? Like, how long did it take me to get everything off the sprue? Because I've been furiously going at this. I'm curious how long it might take me to do, you know, a whole one. I can't go back and look at it. should be, so that is at, what time is that at? I don't even know. This isn't showing it, and I'm not on YouTube or anything like that. Wait a minute, we're at 14:37.
Well, it had been running for 3 minutes when I jumped in. I haven't even been here 10 minutes, so you're under 15 minutes.
For talking, describing what happened with the last stream and doing this. Okay.
Right.
All right. And what I'm doing here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just cutting the insides of these. There's no reason whatsoever to trim the inside because you're not going to see any of it. I'm just cutting it out, popping it out, and then that's it. And that is everything cut, so that was, we'll just say under 15 or at 15 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the putting together the turbine. And again, like I was saying in that other video, the goal here is to clean up my workspace, basically to give myself room to work while still getting things done. While that glues, trim this up. We're really going to see how fast we can get this one done, barring any nonsense that may happen. Just realized you guys can't really see what's going on here. Alright.
A mutual friend of ours reached out to me on a backup account. I'm going to bring them into the server and send them up to the Badger sets.
Roger.
So if I dip out, that's where I went.
No worries. Then I go ahead and I do, like I said, we're just working just on the turbine right now because it's the quickest and easiest thing to get put together. Clear up the desk space. Again, that dull blade or slightly dull blade helps with what you see me doing here. As aggressive as I'm being, I'm not actually cutting into the plastic. I've got a little bit of a sugar rush because I had some cereal with honey on it.
Oh, had some more of your ape nuts, huh?
No, Raisin Bran.
You're such an old man.
I was here in the house. I didn't feel like making anything.
Back in my day, grape nuts was made out of real grapes.
Yeah. And sawdust.
Yeah, that ain't close. Shredded wheat. I've seen them roll that shit up out in the field.
Alright. Along with all the deer poop. Deer guts if they run over one.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's pretty gruesome.
It's interesting to watch the interactions on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, of people that are claiming to be vegan but have the same political ideologies as the hard left, talking about, you know, the separation of calves from cows, you know, and dairy farms and beef farms. They're so concerned about them, but they're not concerned about, you know, human life at that stage. It's amazing.
No. It's funny how that works.
The stories literally write themselves. Oops, grab this piece. Check something here. Performance. Weird. Check something on my computer real quick because
Rude.
Yeah.
It is funny, yes.
I would strongly encourage anyone doing this to pay attention to this step. I already know which direction it's supposed to go, but if you don't pay attention, then the screen, which is right there, or targeting sensor, faces this way with the larger end, as you can see. And that's the direction you want the small end of the pintle mount for your storm bolter. If you don't, then you run the risk of it being backwards and not operating correctly. And when you glue the gun on, the storm bolter or your missile launcher, whichever you're using, you do it upside down. And I only put enough right here on the first half. Don't put anything obviously on the hinge point. And then I put the hinge points together first, so that way as I squeeze, the glue goes this way towards the barrels and not towards the hinge point. And you don't need a lot of glue on here, and that could be advantageous for you if you screw up, because then you can pry it loose, assuming you've not used plastic cement or anything like that. It's another reason I use crazy glue, besides the fact that it's cheap. Give that a second while that's drying. Let's prep these real quick so we can get them on and out of the way. Yep, there'll be a whole shelf with nothing on it.
A who shelf?
Unless I rearrange some things. Did your grandson get a chance to look at everything on that video?
I think so. He just kept. He said he kept jumping back and rewinding, trying to take in everything that was there.
Yeah, it's a little.
He couldn't believe it. He said he didn't know there was that much stuff in the hobby, and I'm like, yeah. Well, if anybody's gonna have it, it's gonna be you.
Maybe, yeah. I don't have any Votan, but I don't really have an interest in them. Maybe someday. Maybe if there's something. They've got one vehicle that I like, and that's about it. And not, I mean, it's just for the look. It's not like, you know, for gameplay or anything.
You know, the funny thing is the whole Votan concept kind of landed like a wet fart.
Yep.
You know what I mean? People just aren't really reacting to it.
Well, I mean, when you bring them out and they're super powerful.
Dingle. Hey Badger, how's it going?
Good, man. Very good. Thanks for showing up. The worst part I think about the Votan though is that as soon as they came out, they were super OP, and I mean in like no time at all they nerfed them. And then tournament players weren't, or tournament runners weren't even allowing them in some cases.
Howdy. I'm new to Warhammer and I'm painting my first set, Black Templar Combat Patrol. I had a question on how a patrol squad works in Combat Patrol. Would you be able to help?
Yes.
I can't find the answer anywhere.
First thing I need to know is, are they firstborn or Primaris? I'm assuming they're Primaris Marines. Let's see. How a patrol squad works in Combat Patrol. Trying to understand your question fully.
Are you talking about on the board or like in?
I think that's what he's saying.
Real life.
Yeah, I think he's talking about on the board, but
okay.
Let's see what he says here. Henry, there's no snoring on this stream. There's no sleeping on this stream. We were up until these are done.
Super Philgo. Thank you. It says there needs to be 5 units if split, but there's only 4 neophytes. Is it 4 neophytes and the sword brother?
Okay. So, I probably need to look that up, but I want to tell you the best place you can go, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually trying to work on the clock here and see how fast we can get this one done. Go to wahapedia.com or Wahapedia, and they're going to have all the rules and everything for you of how that actually works, and it will explain it for sure, what it is. But the reason I was kind of sort of laughing is combat patrols are not designed for you to have, you know, a workable army. They're designed to give you a taste and then force you to go buy more. And I know it's probably not what you wanted to hear, but I'm just being truthful with you. But Wahapedia is where you want to go. And I believe they're all from, I think they go all the way back to 7th edition too. For those of you watching on this one, use a flat panel like I was trying to say in the other one before we lost power, and make it so that your storm bolter, the barrels are pointed in the direction of that flat panel. And this will ensure that once you open a drop pod door, wherever the storm bolter is, it'll be looking out and not blocked by one of these like that. It'll be off to the side. Okay, so we got that done.
I'm looking at the 10th edition rules for combat patrols. So.
Well, he's talking about Black Templar specific, since he's got a 4-man neophyte squad, which are essentially scouts. So I would assume that yes, it would be with a sword brother, but I mean, who fucking knows anymore?
Okay, continues. The core units need to start a Black Templar Crusade. Okay, Crusader Squad includes 10 units, including Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and 4 Neophytes. But he said there was only
4.
5 models.
He said there was only 4 Neophytes. That's why I started thinking then they shorted him to force him to buy more.
Yeah, there's 3. Okay, so this isn't the full combat control box.
Can you read that to me again?
Alright, so the Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol Black Templar box contains the core units needed to start a Black Templar Crusade. The box includes an Impulsor, a Marshal, a Crusader squad of 10 units, including a Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and 4 Neophytes, and an Intercessor squad, a 5-man squad with auto bolt rifle intercessors plus a Marshal leader.
So then
it sounds like they just carved out part of the Crusader squad.
Right, well, and so I guess technically, since they're saying a 10-man squad, then yes, I guess technically it would be the 4 Neophytes and a Sword Brother.
Yeah, because the Crusader squad is a Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and 4 Neophytes.
Yeah.
And that's specific to the Combat Patrol.
But that doesn't break them up into combat squads, which is what he's talking about, where normally, normally a
The
space...
10-man squad is 1 Sword Brother, 5 Initiates, and 4 Neophytes.
Right.
Right.
The problem is with the combat squad, it's typically just a 5-man unit, and usually you can take a 10-man unit of Space Marines and divide them up once they hit the ground into 2 combat squads of 5. So his question, I guess, would, correct me if I'm wrong here, Supa, would be, can he do that? And then it's just, you know, the Sword Brother with the Neophyte, the 4 Neophytes, and then the 5 Initiates go on their own. You'd have to really, I think you'd have to really look at the rules, because I'm not sure that the Neophytes actually count.
Under the app it says it's doable.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I definitely say the Sword Brother would pair off with the Neophytes.
It would make sense, yes.
Out on their own, yeah. And the Initiates could just basically swing it out on their own.
I was just saying that, you know, without actually seeing the rules on that, I could see where they would say no because they weren't, quote, a tactical squad of Marines. Because that's where the combat squad came from. But, I mean, if it's there, then there you go. But what they did do, in my opinion, is they made it where he can't, unfortunately, field a 5-man squad, you know, of fucking Neophytes or Scouts, however you want to look at them. Tricky marketing.
Yeah, because like I said, they're calling a squad is 10 units now. That's a Crusader squad, and then they have something called the Intercessor squad, which is just a 5-man,
right,
plus Marshal leader, which seems kind of weird. Seems like kind of a weird...
Supa Philgo. This is what it says on the app at the start of the Declare Battle Formation step, before any units have been set up. This unit can be split into 2 units, each containing 5 models. If you do so, one of those units must contain the Primaris Initiate models and the other unit must contain the remaining models.
There you go.
Okay.
And that's basically what I said earlier. I just, again, I have not read that, so I didn't want to give you false information. It just made sense to me is all, from the way the combat squads have always been. Yeah, tourist. I don't know anything about 40k.
No.
What is this 40k you speak of? What is this Warhammer you speak of? What is a Warhammer? Is it a spoon?
No. It's 40,000 Warhammers, and you don't even have one of them.
Supa Philgo. Okay, cool, smiling face with sunglasses. Just wasn't expecting to have the Sword Brother with Neophyte.
Well, it's kind of like having a senior sergeant or something like that with the new guys in a way. And if I remember correctly, at least in oh my gosh, what was the name of that graphic novel? Damnation Crusade, they even had it that way.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep.
So that, I mean, that's going to be something, for the Templars only, Black Templars. You wouldn't see that, that breakdown in a normal Space Marine thing. whatever army, or salamanders, or anybody else for that matter. But then again, Black Templars don't operate like everybody else does.
What is this Codex Astartes you keep talking about?
You bring up the Codex Astartes.
Ah, cool. Thank you guys very much for the help.
That's what we're here for, man. No problem. And what this Codex you speak of? Bring it up again, and I kill you.
With this space book.
I love that. Spacebook says no. Well, I can't read. Do you remember that from
oh yeah,
Russian Badger?
Well, then there's also Spacebook says no. And all I think of is the King of the Hill meme format, where it's just, if those Black Templars could read, Bobby, they'd be very upset.
Right. Oh.
Hey, I wanted to ask, what's your opinion on the Iron Hands?
I like them a lot. I actually, the only reason I have not made an Iron Hands army is because I got so many black armored armies. I
have been pretty much spending my time when I'm at one working day reading about it and listening to their lore, and I'm like,
yeah,
you know, like you hear an army and you're like, okay, that right there, that's literally me.
Yep.
You know, that kind of thing. I'm like, I'm really kind of grooving with the Iron Hands.
Yeah, they're pretty legit, man. I mean,
well, they're what you expect grim, dark fucking warriors to be.
Yep.
You know, it's like they're, you know, you get some of these sillier, flamboyant groups, and then it's like these guys. It's like, we're just out here to kill everything, and if you get in our way, we'll kill you too.
So I wanted to wait until this last one for everybody. If you guys have noticed, I have not put any plastic on this. Glue. You don't need to. All you need to do is make sure that this cable piece goes in the hole, and then just push in, and it will pop right in just like so. And you do not need any glue. And you don't want to glue it because you need the flexibility to move it in and out, you know, back and forth or whatever when you go to put the harnesses on, which we're about to do. And if you notice, we're damn near, other than cleanup of the doors and the aileron struts, I'm going to call them, these things right here, we're almost done. The cleanup is the hardest part, or the longest part, sorry. And I sort these out for a reason. And now this is the part that I've been wanting to show everybody. Your right side, okay, right side as you're looking at it, and as would be on each one of these carousels or backings, has one hole somewhere in there, and you're not going to know until you piece it out, where these do not fit right. Now, you're also going to have these really tiny ones, or tiny little knobs or whatever on one of them. The rest of them are not like that, so that one's a safe bet. What you've got to worry about is when you do this, and it's only on this right side, pull it out and start trying to find it. And already we found it. See how it won't go in? There's a gap, it just won't go in. So skip that one and go to another one, because one of them will fit in there. And once you find that it fits, and you make sure that you dry fit it first like that, then go ahead and just put a little bit of glue on here. Don't put glue on this piece. You don't need to. It does nothing for you. You're wasting glue. And if you run into a problem where you need to pull it out, you've glued it to the carousel or the center console. So, and I always wait last on that one with the really tiny knobs. Okay, so we're good there. And that should have been, and you could always go back and try to see, you know, if you get one that fits in that hole, but it's that section right here, you know, that's always going to be a problem. You just don't know which one it is. And all it is it's a mold problem. See, that doesn't fit. And you may say, well, you could put the small one in. And we may end up having to do that. I don't even think I had that in there. Yep. So that's kind of the issue you run into.
Super Philgo. I planned on building a drop pod in the future, so this is good stuff.
Yeah, well, this is my technically my third video or stream on it. But yeah, the drop pod, for whatever reason, really irritates a lot of people when they go to put it together. It's really just, I mean, especially on your first one. And again, I'm on the, well, we got 2 more after this, and then we've completed 32 drop pods. It's really not that bad. And what frustrates people the most is at the end, and see, now they all actually fit. You won't have any problems with this side at all, as far as fitting in those holes. The problem that people have is once we get to the doors, and you'll see my little trick that I do, they can't get the doors to line up right, they don't want to stay closed, all this kind of stuff, you know. And that won't be an issue. So anyway, sometimes I go ahead and let that sit for a little bit, but again, we're trying to push through this. And then what I do here is I just pull it out a little bit and over to the side so I can fit that side in there, stick it in, and then if you run into a problem right here where it's hung up, use your razor blade, just push it down a little bit, and you're not pushing it in real far, just enough. That's all you need, because if you push it in too far, this will not line up with the aileron. That's a aileron strut that's supposed to actually link up right there. Okay, but they're really not that hard to put together. It's just, you know, kind of once, I guess it's like with anything, once you learn how it works, you know, then it just becomes easier. Another trick I could have done there was grab my clippers and use them like pliers very gently, which I do on occasion. And Supa, if you haven't ever seen it, we did a complete update to everything that I'm trying to do. And if you're new to the channel, which I think you are, so if you're not, I apologize. You know, YouTube does not tell me when I get new, I mean, like who the new subscribers are or anything like that, and Twitch doesn't either. But the whole thing here that this channel is around is my hobby, of course, with 40k or Warhammer and minis and stuff like that. But really, this is the bulk. You know, Warhammer 40k is the bulk of my hobby, and I have thousands upon thousands of miniatures that I have been trying to put together. I had college as well. I just graduated, so now I've got more time, at least until I try to go back to school, which may happen. But there we go, slide right in there. Anyway, I want to get everything put together before I really start painting, and the reason for that is I want everything playable. But that video will show you what we do have put together, my game room, things like that, and hopefully it inspires people to,
Super Philgo,
their hobby.
Awesome. Congrats on graduating.
Thank you. Especially at my age. It wasn't the plan to go to school. Alright, so we got all that, we got all this. This is good. Now, this is another trick. When you're going to put this piston in, okay, or piston, sorry, axle, do not put glue on the bottom. You don't need it. All you need is glue here on the top. And what you're trying to do, before I do the glue, is you're trying to find the hole that's inside there. See, I missed right there. Okay, we got it that time, but we don't have any glue on it. And you're trying to make sure you find that hole that's inside. That's why you don't want glue on there, because you may end up actually, I'm actually going to scrape the mold line off of this. You may actually end up getting it glued in the wrong spot or what have you, and then you're fighting it. So all I do is I put glue at the top right here on the neck of it, and that's it. That's all you need. Nope, missed it again. And again. Got it that time. Alright. Now, It's the worst part. Wait, did I miss a piece here? A little bit. This is the worst part of it. This is all you got left is trimming and gluing and of this stuff. And as long as you can just think about something else, I mean, I say that. We're talking about all the drop pods I've put together, not what you guys would be doing. I mean, if you're only doing 1 or 2, it's not going to be that big a deal. You'll fly right through this. But there are really only 6 points that you have to shave off. And again, the trick, it might be new for you, Super. The trick that I tell everybody is keep yourself a dull razor blade around, because you can see how aggressive I'm being with this. 1, I'm less likely to cut myself, and 2, I'm less likely to punch into the plastic of the model. You don't need a sharp knife to pull this off. And just by, you know, doing what I'm doing, as you can see, I'm just riding the plastic, man. That's all I'm doing. Okay, let's do this a different way to keep track of everything. Where are we at? What's the time at? 45. So really about, I don't know. Probably at about really 35 maybe. Because I don't think I really got started. And I mean, if you didn't mind going back later and really cranking down on, you know, like some of this stuff on the side, these on the side right here are not going to stop your, oh wait, let me think about that. Yeah, they might actually stop your drop pod from closing correctly. So belay that, don't listen to that. I was thinking they wouldn't, but I've never actually left them, you know, intact for that reason. I just thought maybe. But definitely on these hinge points here, you want these gone. Yeah, this will scrape on the side, so that won't work. I could probably take off another 2 minutes as well for explaining stuff and showing things. We'll say we're at 35 minutes now. Unfortunately, the aileron struts are going to have a lot more.
Super Philgo. I was listening but was in the middle of gluing something LMAO.
No worries. I understand the struggle. Trust me. Feel like it's possible to get one of these done in an hour. Pretty sure. I mean, less than an hour actually. So whatever we end up with on the time that it's showing on Restream, I'm going to subtract 12 minutes from that, barring anything else that I may have to show, but I shouldn't have to show anything else, really. Alright, wow, that's probably the quickest I've ever done those plates. This, unfortunately, has a lot of points, and the plastic appears to be a little thicker.
Why have you made so many drop pods?
Because I have tons of Space Marine armies. And if you go back, or if you ever go have time and go watch that live stream, you will see all of the minis that I have. At least the one, I mean, what's not been put together as well as what has been put together. And initially I was going to have drop pods specific for each army. I have since decided, because I want to have larger battles and, you know, with various armies, that instead of doing that, I will paint them all a generic color and then magnetize chapter plates onto the drop pods. And I plan on doing that with some of my vehicles as well. As soon as I figure out what color scheme I want for that as a generic deal. And that, and that will help also, or would help someone like in your case save some money. I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Except I'm not. I haven't had a soda in over 5.5 years. Or sweet tea.
Mech_Orzel. Hello. New fan here.
How's it going? Welcome. Any question is welcome. Any conversation is welcome. It'll help me get through the night. Because I'm going to get this done. These drop pods. I have had these for well over, I want to say almost 2 decades. I've had them since they first came out, whenever that was, I forget. It's been a long time. And then I've got to make some casts of my Forge World Dreadnought.
Mech_Orzel. Glad to be here. Love Warhammer, but it is a bit too costly for me at the moment. What kind of armies do you have?
Oh my gosh, I have them all except for Votan. And that's not an exaggeration. If you go to on YouTube, well, wait a minute, are you on Twitch? Yeah, you're on Twitch. So if you go back, I want to say 2, maybe 3, you'll see where it says Angry Badger's a Tourist. That will show you my entire collection that's been put together, as well as what hasn't been put together. It's about 3 hours. It was a live stream with friends and stuff like that, showing them around the game room and things like that. Because, you know, it was something that was long in the making. And finally, after, like I was saying earlier before you got here, I graduated from college, and I finally was able to get down there and get things squared away for that stream. It's probably not as high quality as this one is, because I was streaming through my phone to Discord and then recapturing that through another device. So, but it's still pretty good, and you can see everything. It's actually kind of overwhelming for some people, I've been told. But I appreciate you guys being here for sure. So here's a question for you guys. How did you hear about me? Or did you just come across me on Twitch or something like that? I'm not like some famous YouTuber. I don't have a lot of followers, as you guys know, but I am curious how this whole thing is supposed to work.
Super Philgo. I just sorted by best on Twitch, smiling face with sunglasses.
By best? Huh. That's interesting. Last one here. So we're at about 41, maybe 40 minutes, 41 minutes. So it might be just about an hour.
Mech_Orzel. I honestly just searched on Twitch and found you. I like smaller streamers, more time for their chat.
Oh, for sure. Like, you just search like Warhammer or something, I imagine? Is that what you guys did? Alright guys, cleanup is done. Now for gluing trick on this, I do a strip across here for the front. Little strip, little strip, little strip, little strip, one in the middle, or you know, on each part.
Orzel. Yes.
And then just a little bit
I
right
have
there.
never made any minis. I read plenty of the books and some games, but never made anything.
Well, 3D printing's a real thing out there. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because I've got some really cool stuff. Matter of fact, if you go on my Discord and stuff like that, and go into the thousands of minis assembled, or whatever channel, you can see the Warhound Titan that was 3D printed for me. And it was, what was it, $250 for the whole thing with multiple weapon options. And it's gorgeous. Because I have spent more money on GW than most people, you know, would fathom. And that's not a bragging point, it's just, you know, high and low points in my life, and I really enjoy the hobby. But Games Workshop has, you know, with the new people they've hired and things like that, they've basically, in my opinion, betrayed my trust, as well as everybody else that's come along and brought them where they are. So while I'm just nobody in this world and it doesn't really matter, you know, to them, I'm voting with my dollar now. And besides, I mean, I've got basically everything anyway. This might be the slowest portion here. Is
Mech_Orzel. That is amazing, man. Keep it up.
You guys are more than welcome to join a Discord, share your own stuff in there. That's a big part of it too. And have fun with the rest of us. Hell, there's some, and if you like any Warhammer gaming, there's plenty of guys in there that like the game. Dark Tide, you know, all kinds of stuff. I did some modding myself, light modding. It's nothing, not like I'm some computer wizard, for Gladius, and essentially was able to figure out how to combine certain mods that wouldn't work together with each other, so that you have a more epic experience with full-size squads, as well as some actual chapter colors and scaling, which is a huge thing for me. You know, where the Marines aren't the size of the buildings, if that makes sense. They're the size they should be, you know, as well as everything else. And I'm planning on putting that out along with the instructions of how to do it. It's pretty easy. You just have to copy and paste some folders. Whoops. And I supply all of the files, so yeah, holding these together just to get them to glue, that's about the slowest part. So where are we at? 57, so we're at about 44.
Mech_Orzel. I like the salamanders. They have an amazing color scheme and the lore is cool. Do they play well?
I couldn't tell you for 10th edition because I've not played 10th edition, but I'm also going to tell you this. It does not matter. I mean, alright, here's the deal. The salamanders are by far my favorite army. Anybody that talks to you will tell you that. Unless you're talking to my buddy C-Dat and he'll tell you it was Ultramarines, but I don't even have an Ultramarines army. He just likes to tease me. But, and I don't like Rowboat Gillyman or Girly Man. But that being said, I have an army that you'll see in that video, as a matter of fact, or that live stream. I gave it to my wife, but that army was built in 2003. The last game I actually played of 40k was only like, well, it would have been in 9th edition. And that army from 2003 all the way until I think about it would have been right before COVID, is undefeated. But it's not, and the reason I say it, it's not about their stratagems, it's not about any of that stuff, because I don't play with any of that stuff. It bogs the game down for me. I don't care if my opponent were to play with it, that's fine, you do whatever you're going to do. I just use tactics, like legit tactics. And let me tell you,
Remnant
works.
_of_ chaos. Ah, the infamous drop pod assembly that I have heard so much about. Remnant _of_ chaos. And as always, Remnant _of_ chaos. Evening lads, lasses, and other fleshy beings.
Yep, we are, and then on this part, just put a little bit right here on the middle piece. You don't need to go any further than that on the glue. Don't go over closer. You don't need to do that, because you're going to have the aileron struts are actually going to help hold this together. Make sure before you do anything that you actually have all of your hinge points in.
Super Philgo. I gotta head out. I followed. CYA.
See you later, man. Good to meet you. Alright. And now, what I'm going to do, this is the trick here, guys, that gets your doors closing for you like they're supposed to be. Or the trick that I use. Maybe there's another trick out there, I don't know. The first thing is, just put an aileron strut on there and make sure the bottom is fully seated, okay, on that first one, and then it's centered. Right? That's all you need to do. Notice we put glue up here though. And remember how we lined up our storm bolter or your missile launcher, whichever you're going to use. Well, now it's all lined up so that if you guys look, here's the flat part, the barrels of the storm bolter, and they line up right in here like so. And this might be a little tight, but don't sweat it. It will go in there, because sometimes this is just a little off, if you know what I mean. And then what I do is I make sure that I push up just to make sure that it's seated down as far as it can. And that's your first one. Double check that down below. Put a second one on. Which will, and again, same bit. Worry about the bottom first, and then you can worry about the top. But focus on that bottom, and don't worry about anything else. Like if it looks cattywampus to you, don't sweat that, because it's going to change here in a minute. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now I'm going for the third one, and we are going to get this done in under an hour. This is crazy. Like I said, the longest part is cleaning everything up. It's not putting it together. And then,
Mech_Orzel. What time do you stream? Is it daily?
it's not, because I've got little kids and stuff like that, and I was in school. I just graduated and stuff not too long ago, like a week or so ago. I'm trying to get back to a regular deal, but it's usually about this time, usually like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Mech_Orzel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually thinking about going to law school now. I can be a real rules lawyer then, right? Like I've signed up for the actual
Remnant
LSAT.
_of_ chaos. May the dark gods have mercy on you then.
Yep. Alright, so now that we've got this together, as soon as that's done, immediately close up your drop pod. And your focus here to make these doors work is squeeze them in while you hold the other ones. You hear those clicking? That's because everything is forming like it's supposed to, and your doors go right where they're supposed to, and voila, your doors are now closed. And they will always operate like they're supposed to. It's that simple. And we did get that in under an hour. Holy shit. From opening the box to full assembly, and we only have 2 left of 32 drop pods. Let's do it again. And we'll definitely get this done before midnight. I am confident.
Remnant _of_ chaos. 32 drop pods.
Yes, sir. 32 drop pods. So I might be able to blow my own horn here a little bit and say I'm the drop pod expert. I don't know. Maybe not. Yep.
Remnant _ of _ chaos. Here's a question. Remnant
I knew it.
_ chaos. Why?
I knew it. The question, or the answer to your question, is because of how many Space Marine armies I possess. And like I was saying earlier before you got in, now I'm going to kind of calm down a little bit since I got that done in such a quick succession, and it's only 9:18. I can slow down a little bit. My plan was to have specific drop pods for every chapter.
32. Damn.
Yep. It was to have drop pods for every chapter in their color, so forth and so on.
Remnant _ of _ chaos. Just get 2 or 3 with a label called Imperial Drop Pod Rental Service.
Yeah, well, you're not far off. So basically, because I'm no longer going to do that, I'm going to paint them in a generic color and then just magnetize some type of panel or something like that per chapter on there. This will allow me to have or play apocalypse battles that don't look stupid, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna work on trying to do the same thing for all my tanks as well that have not been put together. Well, I mean, because some of them, like my Black Templars army, they, you know, and my Space Wolves, all of them, they've got a specific, you know, Land Raider or, you know, like decked out and stuff like that that I've done to them. But, you know, like your Rhinos and things like that, I'm looking for a generic color that will fit most of the chapters and not look stupid. And then, like I said, put a nice size panel or something like that that I can just magnetize on there. So.
Squid Burger. How many different armies do you have?
I don't know off the top of my head, but again, like I was telling some of the guys.
Remnant _ of _ chaos. I got my first Space Marine army last month.
Nice.
Took me 4 years to bend to societal pressure.
That's all right. But to answer your question there, Squig, if you go to the last lot, the one, it's only like 2 or 3 back, I guess, on YouTube. Since you're on YouTube, to the live channel, you'll see Angry Badger as a tourist. You will see my entire collection of what's been put together and what has not been put together. It's about maybe 3.5 hour stream, something like that. I think it's 3 hours, but it's a lot. Okay, saying it's a lot, that's kind of an understatement, but yeah. Yeah, this right here is the part that takes the longest, is getting this crap off the sprue and cleaning it up. The rest of it's pretty simple, in my opinion. Henry, please don't do that.
Squid Burger. I was mostly into the lore and books, but starting on my first Death Watch Veterans squad now.
Nice. Yeah, Death Watch is legit, especially if you're gonna start small and do kill team and stuff like that. And if you really want to do something cool, if you have the ability, magnetize the left, I'm sorry, as you're looking at the Marine, the left shoulder pad, the non-Death Watch shoulder pad, and then you can buy more shoulder pads, paint them up in whatever chapter you want, and then just throw those on. Or you could just do more arms. That might actually be easier for you.
Chaos. Be smart. Go with chaos. Embrace the dark gods. Ave Dominus Nox.
That's hilarious. Be smart. That's something my buddy Severus would say. He loves chaos. Okay.
Mech _ Orzel. At remnant _ of _ chaos do I sense the heresy?
He probably has all the heresy. Somebody call the Inquisition fast. Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I'm going to be done with these as far as assembly goes. Alright, let's see. And then, like I've said in all my other videos and live streams, having a plan, like, you know, sorting your stuff
Remnant
out.
_ chaos. I actually have multiple chaos armies.
Same.
My mains are Night Lords and World Eaters. But I also have Death Guard, Iron Warriors, and a bit of Emperor's Children.
Right on. Yep, I've got quite a few armies, chaos armies myself, including demons, that are for both fantasy and 40k. Like I said, you can check it all out. I mean, and some of it's older stuff, you know. Most of it's not painted, but that's okay. I've had multiple armies that were painted, but I've since stripped them down. Chaos was not one of them, but some of the models I got that were used, I did strip.
Remnant _ chaos. I need a great unclean one someday. For nothing more than it's an awesome model. But it's also not cheap.
Well, GW would hate to hear me say this, but recasters and 3D printers, brother. I'm not even kidding. GW has screwed the pooch with guys like me. I'm done.
Remnant _ chaos. Oh, I have a Saturn too. Remnant _ chaos. I'm good. Laughing face.
Yep, 3D printer go burr. When my kids get a little older and I can trust them not to do certain
Mech
things.
_ Orzel. Alright, I gotta head out for the night.
Alright, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I will
Thanks
be
for
back
coming.
when you stream next.
Sweet. Take care, man. Yeah, I plan to get into 3D printing at some point, but we've got to make some adjustments in the house. The little ones need to get older, and got to make sure that, you know, nobody's going to be breathing fumes and stuff like that, especially me. Got some lung issues from my service that I have to keep on track of. And even I'm bad about that.
Quick burger. Haven't fully decided, but I would like to do some Space Wolves with some of the newer 3D printed parts.
The question you need to ask yourself is, where do you plan on playing with them? If you're playing casual games with people, and go for it. If you're planning on going to official GW or, you know, those types of sanctioned tournaments, I think it's an 80% rule.
Remnant _ chaos. Ah yes. The Paw Patrol Marines.
Nah, they're more than that. That's just how people are these days.
Squid burger. Yet it's all casual, or just to collect.
Well, then you do you, man. Seriously.
Remnant _ chaos. I'm just mocking about. Winky face.
I gotcha. Yeah, Space Wolves used to be pretty highly respected until I guess some guys got stupid with it, and then I don't know, it's just, you know, society changes.
Remnant _of_ chaos. As a Dane I should probably like space wolves. But I find them rather meh. Love their main blue color though.
Why don't you... I mean, do you like their rules? That would be the thing to really consider yourself, you know, how they play in their actual army structure. Because you could have an offshoot if you want. I mean, hell, you can make your own damn, you know, Space Wolves chapter.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Nah, the Legion itself is just not interesting to me.
I got you. Yeah, there's not a lot about them, unfortunately. Just some big highlights, like when they went after the Thousand Suns, you know, during the Heresy and stuff like that. And I mean, of course, the little, we'll call it friendly rivalry between
Remnant _of_ chaos. Honestly, it took me long to find one I liked. I chose salamanders.
That's my favorite.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Which is ironic as my main army is Night Lords XD.
No, it just shows your duality. I mean, I may even be making a Night Lord's army at some point, to be honest with you. I just don't like the Batwing icons and stuff. Iconography. Can't even speak tonight. As soon as I get this done off the sprue, I'm gonna take a quick break because I gotta let the dogs out, and I will be right back. But feel free to chat to whoever and about whatever.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Well, the winged helmets are rarely used. They are more ceremonial than anything.
Well, I mean, even on their chest, I find it corny. And I think the lightning bolts on their armor need to be done a certain way for them to not look stupid too. But who knows? All right, I will be right back. where were we? Oh yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. Where did I put my blade? Sorry, I'm used to hiding my blades because of my little ones, and even though they're not here right now, I just don't really need to do that. I don't know why I was.
Remnant underscore of underscore chaos.
Wait, what? I lost. Oh. Oh. Ah. Got
Remnant
it.
underscore of underscore chaos. Fog maps in Dark Tide, when you use a precision gun.
Oh, right.
Just great.
Are you playing Dark Tide right now? Is that what's going on?
Remnant underscore of underscore chaos.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Damn.
What's that? What happened?
Remnant _of_ chaos. Long time since I have had such a good team in Dark Tide. Remnant _of_ chaos. And it wasn't even on Auric 5, straight face.
Alright, well forgive me. Are you saying you had a bad team or you had a good team?
Remnant _of_ chaos. They were really good.
Oh, that's good. I actually thought this was going to make me go all the way to midnight trying, or 1 o'clock in the morning trying to get this done, but I'm already almost done with this one.
Remnant _of_ chaos. The teamwork were great. 2 Ogrins, me a Psyker and a Zealot. And those Ogrins just hovered around me, keeping me safe while I just melted hordes and specialists alike.
Nice.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Damn. It's 4 AM. I should probably get some sleep.
Alright, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Remnant _of_ chaos. Have a good night.
You too, man. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Well, I got that first one done in about 40, I think it was 47 minutes.
It's slow.
Yeah. Everything good over there?
Yeah, it's all squared away, so. It was the usual bullshit that you figured it was.
Oh.
And I figured it was.
Oh well.
Just people stirring shit up without knowing what the fuck they were talking about.
Sounds about right. Dude, I couldn't make that happen if that was a lottery win. That thing went straight in the hole, lined up perfectly first time. Jeez.
No!
It's your home. You're too good for your home? Answer me! Suck my white ass ball! Highly underrated movie.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah. I'm probably the only person in the Warhammer hobby to use their clippers as a pair of pliers.
Probably give most people in the Warhammer hobby fucking fits if you did that.
You're gonna scar up the plastic! You'll never see that, dude. Ever.
Whee!
Wouldn't even see it in a painting competition because it's in the glass and they don't do that kind of thing or get into all that. They sure as shit ain't gonna give a fuck about a drop pod.
I mean, a drop pod is supposed to be beat to shit.
I meant like on the inside, but yeah.
Oh, even that though. I mean, you and I know what armored vehicles look like inside. So.
Sure. I was just thinking, you know, because of the whole argument of, oh, well, every time everything comes back, the tech priests always square everything away.
Not to that level, though. They're not going to smooth metal with touch-up paint.
Well, supposedly they do in the books, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard some bad news today, but I haven't gotten confirmation that Iron Snakes are no longer part. I mean, not that it's necessarily bad news, but it's the lore changing again. That the Iron Snakes are no longer part of the Ultramarines, like a successor chapter.
What are they a successor chapter of?
Hold on a second.
Unknown?
No, it's. I think it might even be Iron Hands, but I'm not sure.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, no, it would be.
Honest, that's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah. Well, it's very good because now they're apart from Girly Man. But because that's what I want to make is an Iron Snakes army, but that was the only thing I was able to convince myself. Well, you've got these Ultramarine character models because you got them from various, whatever, like bundles and things like that. So maybe you could use them that way. Let me see. I know it's on. I asked somebody, but I don't think they got back to me. It was on Twitter. Hold on. Let me see.
I mean, to be honest, they're kind of more, in my opinion, more in line with Iron Hands thinking than they are with...
Yeah, Iron Hand successor chapter, what can you expect? And then they said plenty of other mistakes too, and he sent me this whole chapters of the Space Marines thing. Makes me wonder if... I don't know, I wonder... Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just said it. You know, it makes more sense anyway because while it's not like they broke the rules. They just kind of made their own rules.
Who's that?
The Iron Snakes.
Well, but they're more in line, even in my opinion, the Ultramarines than the Romanesque, you know, way of doing things.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, I can see that.
I did love the cheese wheel though. I knew that was going to happen too. Soon, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been hazed so much. I had an idea of what would happen. But you know what I'm talking about?
Cheese wheel.
Yeah, when they were with their initiates or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was. Yeah.
And old boy ate. Yeah, old boy ate the whole fucking thing to get it there.
He had to smuggle it or something like that, so he just ate it.
And they were like, you gotta get it. Well, they couldn't identify it because he ate the whole thing. You didn't say how to get it there. You just said get it there.
That's some new level shit, you know that, right?
It is. That's why I said, because I've been hazed so much, I knew that right off the bat what was going on. But it was still fun to read.
I'm like, eat your cheese.
That is nacho cheese, Private.
It's nacho cheese. When I ran out of the store, where did the guy was yelling, that's nacho cheese? He said I couldn't be a samurai no more.
Why? Because I'm gay?
They should have another black guy show up in the game. Why are you gay?
Yeah.
This is a gay. You are gay.
Well, I mean, it's like, even the very first Assassin's Creed, I was just like, dude, nobody on the planet is known for assassinations and assassins over Chinese and Japanese ninja.
Yeah, and they still...
But you went with Arabs.
Well, I mean, that is where the word comes from, technically, but yeah. I know what you mean.
Rabahalet Dreamblade. Look at those hands. M. Herbert the Herbert M. Sound.
Ooh, look at those hands. Ooh.
There were some nice looking hands you got there.
We're on the second one there, Slim. Almost done with it.
On over to my house. I got a whole basement full of popsicles.
Oh my god. That's
My wife's
horrible.
like, I hate you. She hates that. She just despises that.
Dude, that's why I stopped watching it. It was the first time I saw him. I was like, nope, I'm out.
Big strong paper boy.
It's like, I don't know where this is going, but I am out.
He's threatening violence now. You hate what so much?
Rabahalet Dreamblade. How many done out of how many to go?
This is number 31 of 32. I have one more after this, and all I've got to do is put these together, and then put it to, and then assemble it, and then that's it. Which I got the last one done in under 50 minutes. But I've been kind of going slow on this one, just because I've been talking and stuff. I had this feeling I'd be up till 1 in the morning. Thankfully, that's not the case.
How many different armies does he have? I would say everything but squats.
Badger, violence is never the answer. Here, hold my hand and let's talk about our feelings together.
Grab a strong hand, child. Violence is always the answer. Or as my shirt says, sometimes violence is the answer. And then you piss off liberals and lows.
Heresy is the question. Violence is the answer.
I would say fire would be the answer for heresy.
Actually, I think that's how it goes. It's heresy is the question, fire is the answer.
Yeah.
I think that's literally fucking what's his name? Arch. When you sign up for his Twitch channel, his little voice says that.
Ravenolek Dreamblade. Arch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's from Demonifuge. The graphic novel Demonifuge with, gosh, why did I just forget her name? Oh, the Sister of Battle that has all kinds of fucking powers and shit. Not Saint Celestine, but,
yeah, it's...
oh, fuck, whatever her name is. Can't believe I forgot her name.
Catherine?
Who?
Saint Catherine?
No, she's not a saint. She's just a badass. Afriel Stern, that's her name.
Okay, yeah.
And let me tell you, those fucking graphic novels are fucking grim and dark. They're fucking great.
The only one I have is the Marvel.
Oh, no, I've got the originals.
The Sister Battle Marvel.
Yeah, I think these were actually like second edition when they came out, maybe. Or maybe just in the beginning of third. Originally started in Inferno magazine, which was a Warhammer publication.
It's got great artwork and a good story, but nothing quite that badass.
Well, if it's canon now that Iron Snakes are a successor of the Iron Hands, I'm down. Let's go. I just don't know how that's possible with their, they've got the Omega icon or iconography, however you say it. Is that how you say it? Iconography?
Iconography.
Iconography, that's what I meant to say. Alright. Ready to
Alright, so they got the snake and the chain. The Ithaca. Yeah, Warhammer Wiki still has it as Ultramarines.
Well, maybe they got so much fucking backlash from custodes they're afraid to move now.
Just remember, technically, Guilliman is the Primarch of every space.
Bullshit. Dude, that's how you get fucking Heresy 2.0, only now you're gonna have the Ultramarines against everybody. Because everybody would fucking rebel. I guarantee it, especially the Templars. They'd be like, fuck you! I really wish, dude, that they had still rebelled against the Primaris deal and just kept, like, every time they came across them, slaughtered them because they were an abomination to the Emperor. But I know GW can't do that because, then how do you introduce Primaris to the Black Templars and get rid of the first one?
Yeah, and the Templar fanboys are some of the weirdest ones out there, so.
Yeah.
I think after Space Wolves, they're the ones that take themselves maybe just a bit too seriously.
I've actually never met a Space Wolf player that was all about, that kind of seriousness. Just that meta retard.
Yeah, I met one that was just a little too into it, a little too vocal about it, and we were at the friendly local game store, and I said, dude, can I give you some advice? What's that? What's that?
You're not gonna get chicks this way.
You don't have to smell like one. Be a fan. Be a what? You stink. You stink. Wash your ass.
You walk into a fucking GW tournament or whatever, a gaming tournament, and you got your fucking army in one case and a bag of soap in the other.
Start slinging bars of soap at motherfuckers.
You get a bar. You get a bar.
I don't understand the thinking.
For what?
Not washing your ass.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you and I have spent enough time in our lives where you would have killed for a shower.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something I've told my wife, you know, I mean, it's, you know, I had no choice in the matter, you know what I mean?
Right.
90 days without a shower, that's because I'm on the objective, you know, and everything you can imagine in my ghillie suit, you know, and stuff like that. It's what it is, you know.
Oh, yeah. But, oh my God.
But I mean, you know, living like we live now, no, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I mean...
But, I mean, you and I both know that there does come a point for some people that they no longer smell themselves, so there's that, I guess.
You know, I've actually, like...
I haven't found that time yet. Even after 90 days, I still, you know, could smell myself.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some people that probably don't. I mean, the worst is when you're like, it doesn't seem so bad, and then like you get back to the barracks, or you get back to your tent or something like that, and you peel off that first layer of clothing, and it hits you like a wet sock in the face.
Or you just move a certain way.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
And then they wonder why our bodies are fucked up and we got cancer and fucking everything else.
I mean, I literally had one time, and I still don't know how this was physically possible. It was in Korea during monsoon season. And when I got back, my fucking toes on one of my feet, the skin had grown together.
Yep. Had that happen.
Yeah. And I had to sit there with an X-Acto knife and cut the toes apart.
Yep, I had that happen to myself, did the same thing, and I had it happen to one of my Marines, and did it for him.
You look like you got a fucking flipper.
Well, when the lieutenant came in and he saw me do, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Sir, just get out."
Yeah, you don't want to see this shit.
Well, I mean, there's no point in me even trying to fucking explain it, you know? He talked to me later, he's like, "You think he needs to go to medical?" And I'm like, "No, he's fine."
Yeah, that's all I did. Is I just sat there with an X-Acto knife and just slowly cut down through, because you don't really feel it.
No.
It's like cutting a callus.
Not, I mean, as long as it's thick enough.
Yeah, and you just kind of cut down in there, and then I washed up, and then I took some cotton I had and I put it between my toes for a couple days, and it was fine.
Slim's like, "Wait a minute, they're talking about toes. What the fuck is going on in here?"
Yeah, but he's a Slaneshi. Come on.
That's true.
It took a few minutes to join. I had to pause the stream so I couldn't mute, and all of a sudden I heard cutting a few layers off. I'm like, what the fuck?
You can actually, your feet will be in your boots so long that your toes will start to seal together, where you won't have any. You literally look like you have a fucking flipper.
Yep.
You gotta separate them.
Oh, I can't imagine that feels weird. It's very uncomfortable.
Well, you don't really notice, like I said, because when you change your socks, you just change your socks, and then you take your old pair, assuming you have a spare pair, which you fucking better have a spare pair.
Last one, boys.
And then you slap it all under, you take the extra pair and you put it up under your uniform or up under your jacket or stuff it in your pack or whatever, because you probably don't put the same pair back on in a day.
At least be dry, right?
Well, because of the climate. It's like the old joke. All right, man, we're going to change our socks. Slim, change with Badger. Badger, change with Sea-Dad.
Oh, that's so bad.
Dude, when you've been living in each other's pockets after a while, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't. The only time he gets out of control is when somebody has to use the turret toilet he misses.
Oh. Man, you better fucking aim good.
The worst smell though was they got these things bad, you know what they're called 10-in-1 rations.
Mm-hmm.
And you could feed 10 men out of one ration pack. And somehow our loader got a whole tin of sausages. Link sausages. And they're already cooked. So we open it up. We're just sitting there stuffing sausages in our face because it's the closest thing to meat we have. And it's all done. And literally, I turned and I said, "Don't spill the juice." And the loader said, "What?" And he knocked the whole pan down into the tank. All that sausage grease. And we still had 2 weeks left before we went back in.
So
And it's just rotted sausage meat.
Canoness Agnes of the Evangelis. Hi guys.
How's it going?
Do I need to stop or
Maybe.
when people gag?
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this situation.
We're on the very last drop pod of 32 drop pods.
Yeah. Anyway,
How loud did you yell at him?
I yelled at him for a bit, but when we got back and we got off the wash rack, and I said, "Tomorrow, wear your old uniform." Why? Because you're scrubbing every inch. Turret, sub-turret, seats, everything. If I go in there and I smell so much as a hint of rotted sausage, I will kill you, and you will start over again. That kid was in that damn tank for 5 hours scrubbing. 5 hours.
So
It's
Canoness,
just good. It's like never saying, don't look or don't look now. They're gonna look. What they're gonna do?
Sometimes I said, yeah, just sling the juice over the side, crumple
Canoness
the
Agnes of the
aluminum can up,
Evangelis.
and put it in the damn
Great job.
garbage bag.
Now when are you going to paint them?
who is this? Who is this? This is a troll. This is a fucking troll.
Canoness, I'll send the $20 later.
Oh,
Thanks.
this is a troll. Oh my god. This is a troll for
No,
sure.
it's probably somebody that watched your video.
Oh yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anytime you get ribbed for your
how dare you?
How dare you?
You know who watched your stuff.
Oh no, I was going back. I've watched it a couple times and just so I can read the comments you guys made. They were hilarious.
20 years from now, Badger's going to be sitting at the old gamer's home. Somebody's going to walk in and say,
Canoness Agnes of the
"Hey,
Evangelis.
there's fucking winners."
Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat, it's blicky.
I thought it was you. I thought it was you. That's awesome. Yep.
Funny.
Well, I mean, first I was like, okay, well, she said, hey, guys. Well, she had to know that, there's more than one of us in here, and that doesn't show up. So, it's got to be somebody I know. But I knew it was a fucking troll. A gnome troll with a dog.
Marzana.
Yeah.
Way to compromise her, weirdo.
Oh.
OPSEC's
yeah.
clearly...
Card.
Jesus Christ. Fucking
She just
OPSEC.
ripped her address off a car, you fucking
No
twat.
shit, fucking doxer.
I'm sorry.
God damn, you
Wait,
fuck.
You guys confirmed it. You said yeah.
Loose lips sink ships, man. What the fuck, over?
Oh, by the way, Blicky wants to be an SOS.
Canoness Agnes
Okay.
of the
You mean
Evangelis.
in the
No rage.
in Death
Yeah.
Watch? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, Gnome Rage. That's scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Hubby doesn't want to play, but and I asked her to please kind of keep it on the down low because you're being picky who you let into the game. So
I just want people to have a good time, and I mean, without ruining anything, obviously there's gonna be some hectic shit. And, and it's gonna be a lot more hectic than anything we've dealt with in D&D. Just because of you guys. I mean, it's all on you. It's not on me.
I did tell her that your version of Death Watch is a lot more hectic, a lot more. You know, there's no death saves or any of that shit. It's
No.
I try to explain. You know, we've got wounds. We'll roll dice. It's just like playing tabletop.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, it doesn't mean that, you know, if you're done, you're done. I mean, there can always be reinforcements to a point. You just won't be at the level that you were or anything like that. However, with what she would like to do, that would be hard for me to reinforce. But that's a pretty, in my opinion, a pretty agile and dexterous character.
Yeah,
which
it's
could,
definitely a dex build character.
yeah, which could be pretty interesting. And actually might be really fucking badass, to be honest with you, like needed.
Yeah, I was gonna say so I'm gonna probably play an Iron Hands Apothecary. So my solution is, can you heal me? Nah, but I can cut that thing off. put a new limb on. Hold still.
Hold on, I got this metal leg right here. I carry a spare with me everywhere I go.
You don't mind an orc leg for a little while.
Yeah.
Large and empty.
But now we just need Slim and his shit psychic.
Oh goddamn, dude.
Hey,
Primo
guys.
rolls, here you come.
Watch me summon the fucking warp right on top of us. Oh shit.
No, I mean, dude, I'm all for it, and I'll tell you there, Blicky. Since I'm trying not to compromise you, like somebody else.
Like some don't have.
It's
them.
very.
Dang it.
It's gonna be very military oriented. I mean, forget 40k wise. I mean, the briefing is military oriented. It's very. I mean, the very first briefing you do is very. It's very thorough. I think Danny, he played it, and I'm not even sure they were able to absorb everything that I briefed them on, but they still had fun.
I know one thing you briefed us on.
Ravenolf Dreamblade. Military oriented in 40k new.
Well,
New.
Nyeh!
That's you say, nee.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's not like 40k is really that military oriented.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the tank thing. Just don't get me started on my tower tank moments.
You don't think they're applicable?
Don't.
What are you talking about?
Canoness Agnes of the
Is it the
Evangelis.
Rogaldorn tank?
It's
or-
fine. I am
I
not
heard
worried
something about
about
that.
getting compromised.
You will in this game.
Stop mentioning it. Y'all keep bringing it up. Y'all making it worse.
No, just again, like I said, I even saw that cutaway diagram of. I think it was supposed to be a Rogaldorn.
Canoness Agnes of the Evangelis.
There's nowhere for any.
As far as my character, I don't expect her to survive. But Sister of Silence is great because I don't need to talk.
Well, we're gonna have to come up with some system for you.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
One grunt for yes, two grunts for no.
No, but there's. I'm wondering if she can have not taken the vow yet.
Like an acolyte almost.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to talk. I know how this works. She
Oh.
doesn't want to talk.
Well,
Well, what if there was like, what if one of us understood? I'm trying to think how this could work. Like maybe one character had understood their silent, because I know they've got 2 tiers of silent speech.
yes.
Ravenolf Dreamblade. Is the cutout on the bottom of the tank so they won't trigger landmines, dat?
Cut out. Oh God, shut up.
You know what he's talking about?
I think so.
Where GW freaking didn't model the bottom of the tank.
Yeah, they just left it a big hollow.
Yeah, and then all the simps came out. Oh, well, you can put all your magnetized weapons there. No, dude, that's not what I paid for. You're not going to look at it anyway. Who looks at the bottom of the tank?
The person that picks them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just doing extra work to cover some
Because when you see the cutout on the bottom of the tank, I was thinking about the old M60 series. There's actually a hatch in the belly you can
Yeah.
drop and crawl out. So that was my first. I was like, how'd you know about the belly hatch?
Yep.
Well, I think that was also like, was that something that was in the
Fury.
Easy 8 Shermans?
Yeah. A lot of them back then had belly hatches. The M1 doesn't because of the armor compromise.
Oh yeah,
Because
landmines.
yeah, the slab, the Chobham's armor, and the DU. So. Well, I'm gonna hit the sack. I was supposed to go to bed half an hour ago. So you kids have fun, and you're not gonna make it, Badger.
I'll make it.
Timing you, man. You're not gonna make it.
Dude, I thought I was literally going to be up till 1, but nope. I'll be done probably by 11:15, I'm sure.
How much distractions do you think he would need to make him not be able to make it?
Well, unless you can suddenly put like some tickle bitties in front of his face, I don't think you can distract him.
Pretty much.
I could probably wait 10 minutes and then send him something, and then he'd get distracted.
No, send him the video of that girl that was saying men are the problem.
I saw that video. What an idiot.
Oh.
That chick's stupid. What? I mean, oh my god, what an idiot.
Men don't talk to each other like that. I'm like, no, we talk a lot worse to each.
Well, did you see the part where? Did you see the part where she was talking about how she and her husband had to make sure that they were either going to make their son gay or trans?
Yep. Yeah,
God.
but I thought that wasn't. I thought that was they're born that way.
Well, she even said we're going to indoctrinate them. She said it.
Yeah. Dumb bitch.
In stream and the open.
Yeah, dumb bitch. But yeah, I mean, God, some of the shit we say to each other is a lot worse.
Yep.
All right, man. We'll talk to y'all later, and talk to you later, Blicky.
Later, see that. Have a good night.
Oh, now I get what she means by not worried about getting compromised. I wasn't quite sure.
Why do you keep bringing it up?
No, I thought she was talking about in the game.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, you already know this from the game you played with that kid. You guys, I mean, you got caught all the time.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, stealth was not a word in your vocabulary.
No, it was not. But, if you have overwhelming firepower, or at least the right amount of explosives.
You guys were in a panic, dude, the whole time.
Yeah.
I've never seen Space Marines panic.
You've never met Tard Squad 1.
Tard Squad 1. Oh, man. Now, I'm actually, kind of stoked that I'm going to be done putting these together, but like I said, I'm kind of, I don't know, it feels weird having a whole empty shelf now. No boxes.
Time to look into some other minis or a different setting. Maybe not even entirely GW.
Well, I'm saying this. I know that I'm going to need room for terrain, so it'll eventually get, clogged back up with shit. But I mean, hell, that's one thing I could do is take the boxes that are stacked up on the floor and put them up there. But all that after I just cleaned the damn room. No, it's just a weird feeling. I don't even know why I have it. It's just, I guess the hobby for me was having all these boxes sitting around.
And knowing you could do them at any time.
Yep, and now it's like the boxes are going away, never to return.
I wouldn't say never to return.
Dude, I'm telling you, unless GW, corrects their course here, I'm pretty much done. I mean, there's nothing that I need, clearly. And I don't know, I think I told you, I just bought $333 worth of 3D printed Alpha Legion with the, some of the biggest tanks there are. I mean, I think they're even bigger than Baneblades, or at least as
Canonus
big.
Agnes of the Evan Chalice. Good night, guys.
Night, Blicky.
Night.
I mean, they're massive tanks, and to get like 4, 5, or 6 of them, I forget, plus 100 Marines, plus 20 or 30 Terminators, plus 3 Dreadnoughts, plus a couple of rhinos and stuff, all for that amount of money. Dude, that's crazy.
Sounds like a steal.
Oh my god, it is. And all I gotta do is wait. You know what I mean? However long it takes for the guy to build it. Like I don't have time or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, not like you don't have other stuff you can take and work on.
Exactly.
I mean, I still got what's his name? Lionel Johnson to put together, and some of the stuff from Conflict 47 put together.
What's that?
Conflict 47?
Yeah.
That is, I think it's been described as one of those weird war setting tabletop games. It's pretty much like in World War II, the Allies dropped the bombs, but the war didn't end. They ended up getting access to some kind of alien technology. So now there's mechs, there's werewolves, zombies, werewolves and the zombies, and some other stuff were on the German side. The Americans got the badass mechs, and the British have automatons. Can't remember what the Russians got. It's really cool looking. I got a couple of the German units, and then they sent me a freebie with my order, but they also sent me something I didn't order, but it was more expensive than what I did order, and they told me to keep it and sent me what I did order.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so I'm very appreciative of them doing that.
You gotta post some pictures of the boxes or something so I can see that shit.
They're not really flashy. They're like that little clear plastic boxes, but the minis themselves are heavy as fuck. It's like, I don't know,
oh, they're
if it's
metal?
coated. I think they are.
Interesting. Yeah, I've got to make a ton of Dreadnought drop pods. They're not like this. They're the Forge World one, and I'm gonna make a mold of the one that I have, and then pour them. But I'm gonna have to find space for those. I'm gonna have, before I die, a legitimate freaking battle like the Drop Site Massacre on Spin 5. And that's why I need a lot of this stuff. Hey, shut up and lay down.
I curse you to be a perpetual, and you never get a moment's rest until you paint all your stuff.
Huh.
So there you go.
Well, as the saying goes, if you you only die if you paint your last model.
So you'll live forever.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, even if you tried to paint all your minis, let's face it, your wife has forgotten about one that she bought you, and it's
somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere. So it'll keep you alive forever.
Hell, she doesn't have to forget. I've probably forgotten one.
Well, I mean, we have both confirmed that you've both forgotten stuff.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, what counts as the mini? Does it have to be an actual person like this Gene Stealer, or could it be a bit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it's bits, well, yeah, I'm gonna be eternal.
Wait, bits as in like parts?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, who paints parts?
I do.
Oh, you're a monster.
You didn't pay attention to that Salamander's army very good, because all the weapon options are there, freaking, and then some.
Man, but halfway through, by the time we reached the Salamander army, I was foaming at the mouth from plastic OD.
Yep. No, I'm excited that I'm getting this done. Because I mean, this is gonna sound really bad. I love the drop pod. Okay, like I love everything about it. It's why I bought them. I mean, in my opinion, it's how a Space Marine army should be deploying in most cases. Especially for your initial planetary assault. But I realize once you have sustained operations, that's not necessarily a thing. Because I say why. In a lot of ways, I think that this has been something that has been overlooked as a tactic where, why wouldn't you, you're going to recover those drop pods anyway, right? It's not like you're making new ones, right? And so in the process of doing that, while that's going on logistically or whatever, you know, once that area has been secured, why wouldn't you redeploy both the drop pod as well as, you know, the Marines that were assigned to it, so that they can, you know, conduct a, you know, a very forceful and shock and awe strike somewhere else on the planet, you know?
Yeah,
but
just risk losing them traveling over land.
Well, right, because everything, when you read it, it all, it's, even the books, I mean, everything is read in such a way that, like, here's your drop pod, right? Like, and say this is the enemy encampment, right over here. They land, they fight, and then that's it. And it's just this, you know, this line of troops that goes across the entire planet somehow. That makes no sense. There's no way that's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
But-
I mean, all that manpower is so slow. Walking, all that equipment, where you can just take and use
Yep.
flyers or drop pods.
Exactly.
Rapid insertion.
Yep. Shock and awe, man. Shock and awe.
And being military, good little degree in shock and awe.
Yep. Well, I thought about, like, writing my own 40k story. It would never get published, I'm sure, because I'm, you know, not woke or anything, and they would know that. But I would have things like that in there, like legit, you know, redeployment tactics and, you know, harassment.
Let's not kid ourselves and you know, think that it has to be published by GW for it to be successful or appreciated.
Appreciated, sure. Successful, they could come after me with cease and desist or something, or they could just steal it like they did my fucking Tau rules back in the day.
True. I mean, they're not above stealing shit from other settings, right?
Right. Even though it wasn't. Yeah, I was watching Alien today, and that's all I could think about was how GW stole from there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I imagine there's quite a few other places they ripped off too.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I feel confident in being able to say that, you know, not have to worry about anybody being a little too offended.
Oh, you'll have them out there. They'll try to say Warhammer came first when it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the gall that Games Workshop had to even try to, you know, copyright the term Space Marine. You know what I mean? That's some balls right there, dude.
What the fuck they gonna do whenever the U.S. Marines end up in space?
Well, besides that, you know, I mean, you had Starship Troopers, you know, the original. What were they called? You know what I mean? I think there was even a book called Space Marine. You know, like a long time ago.
More than likely.
It just doesn't make any sense, man. It's all fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is kind of a milestone, you know, getting these guys done. But I am, in a way, running out of vehicles to put together, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know when it comes to painting them, that's gonna be some of the slowest process, because I'm gonna really want them to be decked out and look good, like I did with the Land Raiders and stuff for the other, you know, specific chapters.
Right.
But I don't know. I need to buy me a bandsaw is what I need to do, so I can make as many vehicles as I want and trim them up real well. At least I hope. I used to have a bandsaw, but that's a long story.
Sounds like not a good idea.
It's one of those things where you thought somebody was your friend and you loaned it to them, and then they just left, and you could never find them again. And that bandsaw belonged to my dad, so. Yep. And he knew that. Whatever.
Yeah, can't expect. I bite my tongue.
No, you're good. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. People are fucking dumb, man. This is not a fucking quote censored channel. If
True.
something's said on here and fucking YouTube doesn't like it and obliterates it, oh well. It's not like I'm making any money.
They'll need more than one virus bomb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tag you something in the live stream chat. That way you can take a look at it when you feel like it.
Live stream chat.
Yeah, the live stream chat for Discord. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
channel chat. You have to look at it now. It's just one of the minis.
Oh,
from
wow.
47.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, I like it too. At the time, I wasn't sure of the quality, so I wasn't really wanting to spend the $67, but eventually I might.
The lure for me with 40k was, excuse me, large armies, but they've gotten away from that in a way. You know, they've really gotten away from it. I mean, even a 2,500 point army back in 3rd edition was a ton of troops on the table, man. I don't give a shit what army you had. You know, you had a lot of models. Now, I mean, you don't. I mean, everything costs so much in points and things like that. I mean, you don't have that much anymore, which
Yeah.
kind of doesn't make any sense to me because don't you want to sell models? But I don't know. It's fucking
I don't
weird.
even know if they know what they're doing.
I don't either. I think I like I told Siad, I think, and this was over a year ago. I told him, I think they have 10 years left, and right now they're trying to milk it for all they can, and they're out. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing YouTubers that are saying the same thing, and it's like, well, tried to tell you guys.
Do you think they're gonna try and sell off to Amazon?
I think it's just gonna go away. I don't think Amazon's gonna.
Well, if you think about it, if Amazon somehow, it may not happen.
I
but
mean,
if
for
they were
minis.
able to acquire it, the Warhammer brand of GW, and they'd have the toys they could sell. Maybe I don't know if they'd retool the pricing to where it's more affordable and easier access, but
I don't think that they'll even bother with that. I think they'll take the IP and run with it as far as like shows and stuff, or try to do something with video games. But I can't see them wanting to deal with having factories and all this other kind of crap to make things, because Amazon doesn't make things.
right.
Not that I'm aware of.
You don't think? Well, do they really need that much? Well, I guess they would need that much room to print stuff.
To print?
Yeah.
In quantity, yeah, probably. Plus, I mean, I don't know that. I don't see. Here's the thing with the 3D printing and all that. 3D printing's fine and all, but we're still not where we need to be, in my opinion. Where, I mean, there's some good, printers and guys out there, and they're still not getting first print, quality, like 100% of the time. But you make these fucking, casts, and with injection, or injection molds, and then inject the stuff in there. That's a whole nother, plus you've got the vacuum part that pulls the bubbles out and all that stuff. I mean, it's very rare, that they're getting miscasts anymore. I mean, hell, I forget the name of that one company. They don't even make minis. All they do is make the actual mold making material, and it's something completely new and revolutionary. And I mean, they came out of fucking nowhere, and they're spot on, dude. Like, all you gotta do is fucking program the thing. It makes the fucking, the mold, and I mean, you're off and running. Mind you, it's super expensive, but now you're printing, an entire sprue that's, like this one here. What is this? Like 6 to 11 inches by, I don't know, almost 8-inch sprue. And you're doing a whole thing like that with nothing but Marines on it, or something like that. 10 Marines with weapon options. And I mean, we're talking in less than a minute. Cooled down and everything. It doesn't need to be cleaned or cured, nothing. So that's a little hard to beat even at 3D printing. I mean, for volume to sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know there's guys that have, 3D printing farms, and that's all they do, and they're constantly making stuff so that they have some type of inventory, whether people are buying it or not. But that's a risk in and of itself. And I know that because it's something that I want to do if I ever get into 3D printing when the kids get older. Because I have awesome ideas, but that ship may have already sailed for me. Who knows?
You never know.
I mean, as far as like it being worth the money to invest to try to turn around and sell things.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm just kind of waiting for the kids to get older, shit to settle down here with all of our personal crap, obviously, that you know about, and eventually for 3D printing to become so mainstream that it kind of is, press and play, and it works like it's supposed to, or we want it to, where I don't have to worry about learning all these crazy nuanced things. The settings are what they are, and the printer doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
Right. Yeah, I still gotta hook up the one that I got from Patrick's stepdad.
You got a 3D printer?
Yeah, it's sitting in my closet right now. So I guess to me it's pretty big, but to some others who actually have one, it's probably not that big. But I also got like one of those big ass totes that required me and my dad to carry it, full of filament and some other stuff.
Oh, you got an FDM printer? It's like stuff on a spool.
Yeah.
Yeah, FDM. Those are probably really good for terrain, not so much for minis because of the detail, but I think some guys have maybe, or bigger minis, for instance,
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if you're making mechs, for instance, for Battletech or whatever, I mean, you could probably get away with it and then sand the stuff down and then hit it with filler primer, maybe. I mean, Trash Truck was made out of FDM. That was a little hard to sand, to be honest with you. So I kind of gave up on it, but plus I was running out of time for Christmas.
Yeah. How is that thing holding up, by the way?
It's good now. I glued it back together, and he's got him with him in Florida and stuff. I saw it. It was hanging out on a couch and was still alive, still in one piece.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. I'm glad he's enjoying it.
I mean, it's beat all to hell, but it looks like Trash Truck has fucking been to the warp and back.
I mean, to be fair, show me a trash truck that hasn't been beat up.
I know. Yep. No, I mean, he enjoys it, and I'm sure it'll fade eventually, but it was a neat thing. It's kind of like, I would love for him to get into this hobby at some point in his life, but I'm not gonna say, hey, you want to play? I'm just gonna do what I do, and if he shows interest and wants to do it, I'm gonna kind of slowly guide him into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he wants to do it, and then I'll, like, oh, you want to paint? Here you go. But I actually don't want him to paint until he's old enough to understand what I can teach him about painting. So that way he has a decent result, at whatever age he's at, and not get, bummed out. I don't want to, like, here's an army, son, and now it's like, oh my god, I got all this work to do.
What do I do? Overwhelmed.
So, yep. Actually, I'll be honest, I didn't know that I would ever really get this far with these drop pods. There's just so much you gotta clean up on them. And, and of course, people get upset because they're like, oh man, it's hard to put together. It's not. You just need to understand the process. And I think people get too frustrated.
Well, it's also, imagine the mentality and the type of person that they're already unstable as it is. They're probably not. Either they're gonna just calm them, or it's gonna just make them worse.
Sure.
You seem like, I've already said it many times, you seem like the type of person that enjoys a good struggle.
I like to figure things out.
That is not a no, good sir.
Do what?
I said that is not a no.
It's not.
It's just so you can't.
But I refuse to give up.
Right?
I guess is probably the better statement.
That's fair, and I mean it works.
Okay, let me backtrack on that. I refuse to give up unless what I'm doing is just stupid. No, not that it's not working, because that could just be me, and not adjusting my plan or tactic or whatever, or approach to something. But like, for instance, I was really looking forward to finally playing Elden Ring once I finally got it to work on my computer. Of course, by then I'm so frustrated with trying to get it to work on the computer, that level is already, kind of overshadowed any enjoyment I can actually have. Then I get in the game and trying to figure out, the keys and stuff. I don't have the time to do something like that when everything's, fucking, keys over here, but you need this one over here, and when you go to remap the keys, it's in my opinion, it's not done very well. And I know that there are other options out there, but I'm not willing to buy them. Most people, I think I'm correct in saying this, that are playing that on a PC are not playing with a standard keyboard like I have here in front of me. They're playing with one of those hand keyboards, kind of similar to having a trackball mouse, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it's called, but
progress.
Yeah. So sure, everything's at their fingertips, literally. That's not the way it is with a regular keyboard. So, it's just what it is, and nothing I can do about it.
If you can handle playing Elden Ring, Dark Souls, more power to you, because I can't handle games where I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall.
Well, most of the games I grew up with were like that, like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that from old Nintendo, especially Ninja Gaiden 2. That one was, dude, that one fucking beat the shit out of most people. Castlevania, same fucking shit.
You mean Ninja Gaiden is actually that old? I thought that was like an Xbox original.
Fuck no, dude. Look up Ninja Gaiden 1. Like for NES.
Oh god.
Yeah, dude. I was in love with that game. Like, of course I loved anything ninja. But fucking, yeah, it's old, man. It's old. The only thing I didn't like, and the opening sequence is fucking badass, except for I did not like the way that they portrayed the mask over each of the ninjas' faces where you could see their lips and their mouth. I always thought that was stupid. But I got over it. And that's because I grew up with ninja movies like, Revenge of the Ninja, with Shokusiji, who is... Did you ever see Ninja Assassin?
If I have, I cannot recall.
It's a pretty graphic ninja movie. I mean, there's a lot of blood in that fucking movie. But anyway, Shokusiji is in there as well. But and my understanding is he's an actual ninja. Like one of the last ones or something like that. And I actually didn't realize he was still alive until Ninja Assassin, which is a really good fucking movie if you ever watch it. But I don't know who the protagonist is, but he did a really good job. And I mean, the story's really good, I think. And it wasn't necessarily, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of, we'll say, the slow motion Matrix type stuff. Parkour, things like that. But I mean, they're ninjas. And it's funny they call this stuff parkour and everything. All this stuff that kids are doing today, I was doing when I was a kid. We didn't call it anything, we just did it.
Yeah. I didn't even hear the parkour word until, like, not recently, but like last 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And it's like, dude, wow, okay, so you ran up a wall and did a backflip. Dude, We were doing that on trees, trying to do backflips from branch to branch.
Pray you didn't get a tree where the bark was gonna come off as soon as you put your foot on it.
Oh, I know, dude. Or what is that tree? Oh, it's a cedar tree with the where the bark kind of comes off like paper and string.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flaked off.
Going home full of ticks.
I would probably be afraid my mom would hit me with a flamethrower if I came home with ticks. She hates bugs.
Oh yeah.
Well, she doesn't hate bugs. She hates ticks.
Oh, I don't blame her. That's a problem we have here in the summertime. I basically coat my clothes on the outside in DEET and let them sit, and then, you know, put them on later.
Mm.
Same shit we do in the Marine Corps regarding mosquitoes and stuff to try to keep them from giving us malaria. I almost sometimes I've never had it, but I almost sometimes wonder if malaria would be better than the dreams and shit you get from the fucking pills you take. Fucking
Was it a one-time thing with the pills, or did you have to keep taking them?
No, you gotta keep taking them.
Oh. Wait, so the pills gave y'all dreams?
Nightmares.
Jesus. Were they aware this was a side effect? Or was this a unique thing?
Nope, they're aware.
Oh, so they didn't think like psychological effect was that big of a deal, or
not in regards to whether or not you could still fight or not.
Yeah, sounds like we'll worry about it later. Kind of
pretty much, yep, pretty much.
And then we'll also write a law where we can't be sued.
I'm sure that happened, yep.
Because that cat with power had an investment and such.
Yep. You know what's sad? Is you go through, and I did this with Space Marines too, you go through and you put all these fucking models together, develop a routine, you become really fast at assembly and cleanup and all that. You get away from it, and then you come back to build something similar, and you're like a fucking noob again. And you're like, what the fuck do I do?
Oh, come on now. You're not a tourist or a noob.
Oh, I'm definitely a tourist. Show me your minis.
Yeah. It goes to show no amount of money will change it.
Nope. You're just a fucking whale. Not everybody's got that kind of money. I didn't have that kind of money. That's years of collecting.
That's years of earning it.
Yeah. Knowing full and well I may be dead and not actually ever get to fucking play with it. Or even what I'm doing right now. No, I really do want to get to the point where I'm, done with this stuff and I'm painting. But I know me, and I love building stuff, and I'm gonna be building terrain. Like, dude, my next city board is going to be a labor of love. It is going to look fucking badass. It's going to be completely modular, meaning not only can you build, different types of buildings and stuff or configurations, but it's destructible. So if you shot at people in a building, and something happened, my goal is it's not just, okay, well, we'll write it down on paper how many hit points that building has. No, we're taking a whole fucking section out. You know what I'm saying? And then after so much, well, guess what? Building's coming down. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Well, no, I just mean, like, to make it as immersive as possible, Right. And it's going to take a ton of magnets. It's going to take a ton of time. The first building is going to be the experiment, because I really want that thing to be. It's really going to have a lot of magnets, and I'm hoping this will work out the way I'm hoping, because it would be nice to be able to just take it all apart, and then the pieces are laying there as rubble and things like that. But I don't know. Or I just don't do that and I make other buildings that are rubbled that are the same footprint size as that particular building. You know what I mean? Which is probably going to be easier and less costly, to be honest, now that I think about it. But I didn't think about that until just now. Probably because I was worried about space.
And now that won't be a problem.
I don't know. I said to myself when I was down there earlier with looking at the drop pods I got to make for the dreadnoughts. I mean, again, I won't be doing any of this crap. It's like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. That's it. And you know, you just put it together. They're taller though than these drop pods by about another full inch, I believe, maybe even 1.5 inches. So I've got to either adjust space in the shelving units, or I'm gonna have to buy more shelving units. And I got a feeling I have to buy more shelving units anyway, because I know I'm gonna want that army that I'm getting from what's his face. I'm gonna want 2 armies, and I've already told him that I want to try to. Basically, I want 2 of the same army, just 1 in Alpha Legion and probably 1 in whatever, you know, Salamanders, whatever. Probably Salamanders. So. Can't believe we're almost done with this. This is crazy. Oh wait, I still gotta. Do I have to do those, or did I do these? Sitting here talking. I think I already did these.
Done distracted you.
Maybe not. Hold on. Nope, we didn't do those. So we're not quite done yet. No, that's fine, because I mean, it's just making it go by faster than me just sitting here, you know, by myself.
Yeah, at least for a couple more minutes before too long, I might second jump out myself.
I hear you. No worries. Yeah, at least I'm not going to be up till fucking midnight trying to get this done, or 1 o'clock in the morning like I thought. And I have been going slower than I did on that first one. I was fucking hauling ass. But I was infused with raisin bran and honey.
Raisin bran and honey.
Yep.
Yeah, I had my heart set on some cereal, you know, like last weekend.
Uh-huh.
And then stuff tells me that the cereal went, or not cereal, but the milk went bad. So the cereal for me. And the reason this is significant is because, you know, being lactose intolerant, cereal is kind of a luxury for me.
Right.
And I don't get it often. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get me some Lucky Charms. And, you know.
Yeah, but see, Lucky Charms, you don't need milk. You can just eat the marshmallows.
That's true. That's true.
That's the only good part of that cereal anyway. The other shit tastes like fucking paper.
How dare you, sir?
The non-marshmallow part of the cereal?
How dare you?
It tastes like paper, dude.
That's what eating raisin bran, which is the equivalent of the cardboard box that came in.
Nope.
Don't you tell me no.
Grape nuts, on the other hand, and I love grape nuts.
I bet you do.
Yep.
I'd seen you and C-Dot were still streaming earlier when I was watching TV and stuff, and I still had a little bit of time, so I figured I'd come in here and see what you guys were doing while I was playing World of Warcraft.
Just this, man. Like I said, this is the last one. The 32 drop pods will have been assembled, waiting to be painted someday.
Someday.
Yeah. Someday my paint will come. Someday he won't be a bum.
Someday he'll paint his armies more than just one color.
Yeah. Well, what's sad is I haven't even done that. It's just the plastic, the color gray they came with. I don't know. No, I'm pretty stoked that I'm getting these done this has been a lot of work. And I have a lot of non-Warhammer work I need to be doing, like mowing the lawn, fucking pouring a concrete slab, fucking all kinds of shit. So I told myself I'm gonna get this done, and then I'm gonna focus on that stuff.
What's going to be your reward for getting all that done? Because you know you have to have a reward for yourself.
It's really just I'm doing it for my wife, because in the business, so that's kind of the reward. Like we've got this whole playground set up we bought over a year ago. We still haven't put up, and I'm gonna try to get that. I was hoping to get it up while she was gone as a surprise, but the guy who's gonna help me had some family issues, and he's out of state, so he's not gonna be able to help. So I gotta wait till she gets home and have her help me, because I can't. Even though I've got the tractor, I don't know that it's safe for me to do both, you know, on my own.
Yeah, not having someone there. I know you're capable and everything, but
Yeah,
not
but
having somebody there to kind of
I'm not prideful in that kind of stuff. The capability has nothing to do with, you know, machinery fucking going awry.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. You know, you never know what could happen.
Right.
The machine could break, and while you're off of it, just in case you don't turn it off when you're not on it.
Right. Well, and I wouldn't be, because diesel's fucking like gold.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just thinking, you know,
Well,
all it takes is
1 second.
Yep, 1 second. You know, I don't know. A fucking bee could sting me and cause me to step in the wrong fucking direction. You know.
Yep. 1 second of I'm just gonna step off for just a second. It'll be fine, and then, you know, it's not.
Well, I can honestly say that's not me. I make sure I, you know, literally drop everything I can to put because everything that I do mostly with the tractor, I'm on hills and stuff, so it's pretty much, you know, the first thing I do is reach down and fucking drop the fucking tail end, you know, my carry-all, so that it digs in the ground, and then I drop the bucket or the forks or whatever, and then I put the fucking brake on. So it's you know, that's all. I don't. Oh, and I turn the wheels into the, you know, into the slope and stuff. I don't. I'm very particular about getting out of the tractor. I'm very particular about people being around the tractor when it's operating. You know.
You say you're a very particular individual.
When it comes to safety, I'm a safety freak. Remember?
Yeah. I distinctly remember that moniker being placed upon you. Last time I drove a tractor was in a very slick, how would you put it? If you were to call a section where people were buried a garden, in a garden that was on a hill with grass very, very wet and tires very bald on a tractor, while pulling a setup or a trailer full of funeral equipment. That was like, I think the 4th time, and that was the last time.
Don't tell me you dumped a casket.
No. Never had any incidents like that. Though I did have a really awkward incident of one of our lowering devices was fucked up, so, you know, 2 straps that rest underneath the casket whenever the family is viewing it, along with bars to hold it up just in case.
Right.
These straps lower the body or the casket into the vault that's in the ground. And this particular time, the family wanted to take and watch. They wanted to be there, which is not a big deal. Kind of awkward though, because then it's very fucking quiet.
Right.
And, you know, letting the body down, but this particular lowering device was fucked up on one of the straps, sides that lowers the straps. Well, the mechanism started jerking, so it was stutter, so it stopped, and then it do it like several times. It let it down a little bit slowly, and then stutter and stop. And it wasn't funny, but it was that you know you're being watched by a family. It's a horrible situation that you should never laugh at, but it's so awkward.
You laughed?
And your buddy's right across from you, and he's looking right at you, and he's knowing, don't fucking do it. And I'm trying my best not to laugh. I'm making all manner of noises I can to not sound like I'm laughing. I even have my, like, it's not like a face mask, but it's like one of those neck gaiter things. I have it pulled up over my face. And I'm trying to use him to block the family from seeing me. And trying my best not to be disrespectful to the families.
Didn't work? Still laughed?
Thankfully nobody said anything or anything like that, but my buddy cursed the fuck out of me whenever I got back.
Oh, really?
Back to the shop. Oh yeah, I mean he wasn't angry or anything, but it was me almost cracking was causing him to almost crack. And he doesn't do well in awkward situations, and I was making it worse. Imagine that.
Yeah, that sounds bad. Well, I did a funeral when I was on recruiting duty for the Army. They asked, for some help. And of course, you got Marines there. But the guys they had, they were super weak. And we're trying to carry the casket, and they were already, like, losing it. And I'm like, I was, I was like, I made everybody basically come to a halt, and we sat it down. And, the family and everybody's looking on and stuff like that. But, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, we're not going to drop this fucking thing. You know what I mean?
No.
And,
better set it down, get a better grip.
Yep. Well, and that was the thing. They weren't used to doing this with gloves on and everything else. And, basically I had everybody stand in parade rest over it. I gave commands and just had them stand there, and and they bowed their head to parade rest while they were looking at the casket. But as far as anybody else knew, they didn't know what we were doing. Like it was something formal we were doing, But I was trying to give them time to rest is what I was doing.
Right, I can understand that. I mean, play it cool. They don't know any better, or they're none the wiser.
Yep.
There was quite a few military funerals that we helped out with. One unfortunate moment. I don't know who it was. I don't know whose bright idea it was to park the hearse next to a steep incline. And I can't remember if the families had already finished parking or whatever, but the what are they called, the dudes on the motorcycles that kind of follow the procession or the procession. I can't think of it.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it either.
Well, they were there. They they weren't helping us because I think we had enough people to do it. But as we're pulling the casket out and we're trying to go up this incline, I can feel and hear the handles on the casket groan. Just thinking of it, I was like, oh, that's not good.
He was that heavy?
It was either that or the casket was just not of good quality. Because there's some caskets that you can feel them, and unfortunately this might as well be a cardboard box compared to the actual wood ones.
So they bought it at Costco.
Pretty much. Thankfully we got it where it was supposed to be, and it did not end up like trying not to slip and fall in front of nobody.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what I can and can't say, because there was an occasion where somebody stopped hearse too soon in a garden that was having like 3 funerals in the same section. and nobody bothered to check the name of the casket with the, headstone that was sort of round next to the hole.
Wrong hole.
Literally wrong hole. And thankfully, we double checked, and after the family had left, and all we had to do was pick up the casket and run it across the section to where it was supposed to be and set it down. But I believe that was a fuck up on the funeral director's side.
I only see stuff like this all getting worse because the people that actually gave a shit or are skilled to do this are in short supply, like every trade.
Yep.
Or, they even want to do it.
I didn't mind the job whenever I did it. It was actually kind of nice aside from...
Yeah, but you're brought up differently. That's my point.
True. That's very true. Well, that, and you also, people sometimes, well, not sometimes, people getting overworked and, underpaid, going along with people who just don't care. They don't have no home training, no decency. Like, what do they care? It's not somebody they know.
Well, that was my entire career, was being overworked and underpaid, so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you ask anybody, they're overworked and underpaid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just think everybody's so fucking entitled now, dude. I don't know, it's fucking way out of control, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, beyond any real measure that anyone could do.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe it's not weird, but a friend is, a Starbucks manager. They're making like around $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm technically they classify it as a minor, operating heavy equipment, and I make like, a few dollars shy, well, maybe $4 shy of $20.
Why are you classified as a minor?
Well, technically that's what I do. It's not like an underground mine, but it's still...
Oh, minor. Okay. I thought you meant minor like as an adult minor. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
That thought crossed my head as I was saying, like, no, he'll understand. No, I guess I should have, I don't think there's even a different word for it. But I think I'm technically considered I don't think it's like federal employee, but like the federal government has jurisdiction over the mines, I think.
Yes.
So, does that make me a fed?
Yep. Fucking fed boy.
No dog is safe around me.
You fucking fed boy. No opening is safe.
No opening? Oh, yeah.
Because you're both Slanesh and fed.
Well, time to play the ruler.
Oh my god. That's fucking horrible. Yep.
But, it seems weird. I mean, like I said, granted, they're a manager, but filling a coffee cup pays more than providing...
He's probably not even doing that.
Probably not.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, well, and they're doing that because they all, it is the politics, and they believe this shit, They believe, that people should be getting this much or whatever, and of course they're backed up by fucking, full-on conglomerates and everything. I mean, meanwhile, you got McDonald's trying to figure out how the fuck they're gonna survive, though they did it to themselves, with this fucking, they wanted to blame it on inflation, but no, everybody got greedy and started charging, exorbitant amount of money for fucking fast food.
Yep.
I mean, this PI case I just did, dude, I've never went to Starbucks once in my life until this PI case. I'm not a big coffee drinker to begin with, and two, I don't support their fucking politics, and especially when they were all against us when we were deployed. And I don't know if people even still remember that shit. But Starbucks was all against the military and everything. And then they tried to make it right by trying to, you know, they realized they could actually be on some of the bases over there and stuff like that. And, you know, oh, it was a misunderstanding. It's not, you know, it wasn't like that, blah, blah, blah. But most of us that were there at the time, we didn't forget. And, but yeah, I mean, it was $4.16 for a cup of coffee with no milk or sugar. I'm not gonna lie to you, it smelled like fucking dog shit. Like literal dog shit to me. The Americano Grande. And all I could think about was, I can't wait to get this out of my fucking truck.
Right. Yeah, I can't. Nah, I'm not a coffee person either. But, like, I've tried it 2 or 3 times, and every time it's just a fucking disappointment.
Well, I don't know what they're making over there, but it sure as shit ain't coffee. I can tell you that. I've had coffee before, and that ain't it. I mean, I'm not kidding when I tell you it smelled like actual dog shit. Like, I'm not using that as a hyperbole word. I was just like, God damn, how can they stand the smell of this? But, you know, maybe they're immune to it now or something.
Stick to that coffee, that brown chicken or
something, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've drank coffee, you know, like in a combat zone and stuff to stay awake or whatever, if I wasn't, you know, like actually out on patrol or something, but that's different, you know.
You did it because you had to.
Well, I didn't want to fuck somebody else over on their watch, you know. I'm sorry, their chance to sleep, you know. It's just like when I was on patrol, obviously I'm not making coffee, but I don't dip, smoke, or drink, but I took a can of Kodiak, Super Kodiak with me, and you know, I bought 1 can a year so that I would have a fresh can every year. But I didn't dip it, I just put my finger in it, you know, and like squished it a little bit to get the residue on my finger, and then I would wipe that across, you know, my lower gum or something like that, just so it burned the shit out of me and it kept me awake, so I didn't fuck my Marines over while they were sleeping. And most of my guys did the same thing, you know, after my example. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
The delirium is setting in for both of us.
No, I'm literally like just about done here. All I gotta do now is put this together, and I am done, sir, done. Thank goodness. And then I gotta let dogs out. Kennel dogs.
And then the great legendary question will be answered.
What's that?
Dogs out.
Oh, yeah, Badger did. That son of a bitch.
I guess well, I don't want to go to bed. I really don't want to go to bed.
Dude, I never like going to bed. I feel like I'm wasting my day.
Oh man, earlier I was so tempted when I got home to just go and lay down, and I did it Friday. I actually went and we ate, and I sat on the couch with my wife, watched TV, and I fell asleep, and I did not wake up until like 11 o'clock. I hated it too, because that was a lot of time I wasted.
Yep, this is the last stretch right here. There was a time where I thought I was buying too many drop pods, but I was like, well, no, you're gonna have, you know, These are going to be for specific armies. And I convinced myself it was fine. Now I'm like, nah, they're all going to be generic colors, and I'll just magnetize some fucking banners or whatever onto them. You know, from the specific chapter. Not banners, that's the wrong word, like a whatever. Iconography. I don't know anybody that owns 32 drop pods, except Games Workshop themselves.
I'll be honest, I don't know anyone that owns an entire basement full of minis, organized paint.
Well, there's plenty of people who do that. I watch their channels a lot, but and of course they're sponsored and stuff. I'm not. I'm nobody.
Let's say it must be nice.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they are fucking amazing professional painters. You know, and people will buy what they think those guys are using. You know, that'll make them paint better. I know that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You either have the skill or you don't. You either put the time into practice or you don't. You know. But, you know, it's like anything. You can't convince people of that. I mean, I know that I'll probably never be, quote, the heavy metal painter, as they call them, that Games Workshop has. But I have minis there that I have taken my time and painted that are fucking phenomenal. They're just a different style. Bam. My trick works every time.
What's that?
The way that I seal it up at the end and get so everything's kind of glued, but I do it in such a way that as the doors come in, they shape the drop pod, and now they will actually work like they're supposed to, and they'll open and close like they're supposed to and stay closed. And that is one of the biggest gripes that people have had with the drop pods. Like, doors aren't aligned correctly. And yeah, there might be little things that aren't aligned if you really look close enough. But if you do it right, you know, or I mean, if you know, I mean, they're clipped in there like they're supposed to be. So. But that's it. So with that, everybody on the channel, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully this helps you with your drop pods. And, we will catch you next time on Angry Badger Minis. So,
Bye, y'all.
Catch you later.